so, I know he doesn't communicate well at all. He does not
Keep a woman though.
because he can't eat pussy.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Put you out there, CJ. Now they know.
Uh-oh. Bring a friend. Can I come up like this? If this is not on, I'm not gonna bother you.
You're not gonna be able to do it that way.
What's up, y'all?
Hey,
you already know what it is. We back live and in living color. It's your girl. Oh man, the podcast just got interrupted.
We still haven't dropped our name yet.
I apologize. My bad. You already know what it is. Welcome back, y'all. It's your girl Doochie.
And your girl Alex in Wonderland.
And we about to get kicked up out of here because I am loud. I just realized how loud I was. I apologize. And that's why I toned it down a little bit. Our producer just came in and yelled at me because I was so excited. I'm so excited to be here.
Literally, you have to understand. This is an entire radio station.
Man, I know.
They came into this room.
And they said, shut it down.
But that's okay. That's okay. That just means we are super excited to be here.
We really are. That's
Yeah.
all it means.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to be here today. We are going to get into this weekend recap, but I just want to get into why I'm so excited to be here today, okay? Why? Because the Lord woke me up today.
Yes.
Wow! And he told me I could do anything. I could be anybody. And you know what? It's only up to me. So
Right?
wow! We getting into it today. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You already know.
Y'all have
It's two
to
dope
tune
girls
in.
in the gym. Did we say that part already?
We did
'Cause I'm
mention
kinda-
two dope girls in the gym.
Did
But
we?
I think you guys have to tune into the pre-recordings because you will understand the wow.
You'll understand a lot of things today anyway. At least for today's episode. But it won't matter because if you missed the pre-recordings, then you missed it.
Yeah, you
You
got to
see.
tune in live before we record. We go live.
So I guess we got to get into this weekend recap.
Yeah,
We got to
yeah.
tame it back down. You know, we got to get it under control. So we're going to go and talk about what we did this weekend.
Yeah, so what'd you get into?
So of course I worked. The weekends is when I make all my money.
Okay.
Hey. Had to pay these bills, so I feel like as soon as I made the money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what you're making it.
Yeah.
To
Money
spend
coming
it.
in, cash going out.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
What am I here for anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. And then I also spent the day with my family on Saturday.
Okay, that was the cake situation.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So I had to put it on my on my timeline, on my stories, because some of these cakes were just so, well, one, creatively done, but just like
They look delicious.
I knew they were going to go for a lot of money.
Yes.
Because I've been to these before. They started them way back when I was in the youth program at my church. And basically every summer the youth go to camp.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're at camp, they just learn different things. Like we learned how to cook in a campfire, how to start a fire, how to tie
camping
rope.
shit.
Yeah, you know, just camping stuff. And one of the things that we would do to raise money is we would cook dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would sell, like, you would have to pay to come in. And then we would have these cakes at the front that the girls would make or their family members would make and donate. And, like, they wouldn't get money for them at all. They're just making them, donating them. And then the young women's program would then sell those cakes to the families at the church. Like, they came to the dinner.
Yeah.
So none of these cakes typically go at least for under $50.
Right.
They had some cinnamon rolls that went for $25. But still,
it looked delicious. It looked so good, and they all look professionally done. I was like, were they all donated by bakers? Like, they looked.
They had a Moana cake. They had like all type of stuff going on. But it was so cool to look at. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I love about it is they were spending hundreds of dollars on this cake.
I know. When you told me the price, you said $140. Well, cake went for $140. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money.
My mama bought one for $110.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for a cake.
Okay. That they then take and break down. and share amongst the group.
Okay.
So like you're
really
not even getting
charity.
this cake to take it home.
Yeah.
It is really about the charity of getting the girls, the youth through the program into, into camp. But I just love that sharing factor, you know. And people were walking around like, hey, you want some cake? So you were able to try these different cakes that maybe you weren't able to purchase because, you come in and you like, I got dibs on that one. I want that one. They had their numbers so you can write down the numbers on the card that you have. And my mama had number 1, so she was just like, and she told me, look, my little brothers picked out the cake they wanted. And she told me, she said, don't stop till you get that cake. My mama don't play. When she wants something for the boys, she makes it happen.
She said, I'm getting that
cake.
She
said, don't stop. It was like some type of cookie dough situation. I don't know. I had to leave as soon as we got to the house.
Right.
Because I already had, me and my mom split a brownie. It was like a I don't know if you ever heard of a brookie.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, it was a brookie. And then I had a sugar cookie. As well.
Okay.
So I was already, and then we had, the dinner was spaghetti. So it was just a lot of like already carbs, sugar, all of that. And I was like, I'm not coming in the house. I'm not coming in the house. I'll see y'all later.
I got to go. I got to get away from this. Sometimes you got to do that.
Up out of this.
Right? Sometimes you got to do that.
And then, but one thing I did enjoy doing while we were there, that same building that this event was in was the church building that I grew up in. And when I was about 13, I started teaching myself how to drive. My mom and dad always had meetings after church. They were really active. And so while they were in their meetings and, the church cleared, like the building cleared out, all the cars were leaving, left. I would take the car keys and get in the car, and there's there's an exit and an entrance on one, either side of the church. Yeah. And so, I would literally just drive around the parking lot, park, reverse.
Just teach yourself how to drive.
Out of the church park, the church property, onto the street, back into the church property, like that. I would just do that. Yeah. And I taught myself how to drive after church every Sunday. And then cool. I stole my parents' car when I was 14.
Oh, no.
I did do that. I did. Yeah. It was they worked together one day. Right. And they left the keys. And I was like, well, I know how to drive. And I left from Redan Road, dog, and went to Doraville. Damn, I don't know why I be having balls, dude. I don't know where they come from.
Did they get you get caught? No. I know a chick who left church. She was real strict Muslim. And she left, her and her friend left church to sneak out of church, and they took the car, and then they got pulled over. Oh, wow. And they got in so much trouble.
Look, the Lord was with me on that route to and fro, because I went to being fast. Me and my friend Janet went to go see our boyfriends, who were brothers at the time. Well, they're brothers for life, but at the time we were dating them both. She was dating the younger brother, I was dating the older brother, and yeah, we just being bad. Right? We weren't even doing anything.
Everyone's been through that.
I wasn't having sex at that time, so it wasn't even that. It was something to do. Right. And in my mind, I had it. I've always had that mentality. No matter what it was that I was setting out on, I got this. So anyway, I taught my little brother how to drive in that same parking lot while we were waiting on the event to start. Taught him how to park the car. Yeah, that was a really cool experience.
Yeah, that's cool. Sharing the knowledge with the youth in your old stomping ground.
And then I worked a hair show Sunday. I worked a hair show, which was different for me. Not like a hair show where hairstylists come out and they do hair, but a hair show where you have these products on display for beauty supply stores to come out and wholesale purchase these items that they don't have the opportunity to get their hands on at that price. They come with deals and stuff like that. So I was working for the main story, and it's a black-owned business. She has a bunch of products, different ones for anti-breakage, moisture. If you have 4C hair, they have a kids line, they have a babies line, a men's line, they have everything. And I don't really have a hair regimen. People will ask me all the time in my videos that I post on social media. They're like, what do you do to your hair? And I'm like, wash. I shampoo, conditioner, and I have this foam mousse stuff that I got from Cantu that I would put on my hair, but it would still be frizzy and it wouldn't look good for long.
Right.
And I would have to wash it way sooner than what I want to wash it.
Yeah.
And so like I was just having a conversation with her and she like put me on game. She was like, girl, here, take the whole line. I want you to. And then I asked about the foam situation because another line had the foam part. And she was like, yeah, take that too. She was like, I said, I'm going to do a review on it. So I'm doing a 30-day hair transformation video. I'm starting tomorrow. And we're going to rock this thing out and see how
I'm interested.
The main story turns out. Especially for a mixed chick. Because I think that's pretty cool to test out the different, the back of the box. The back of the tube, say, curly, kinky.
Yeah, but still everyone's hair is different too, right?
So the products could be a little bit too heavy for my hair, but we are about to find out.
Yeah. I know, that's cool. I like new hair products. I'm always looking for something new, exciting, all kind of shit. I need oil. I've been lacking oil in my hair.
Yeah,
but
maybe I can help.
Yeah.
I'm the plug now.
That's
so
cool.
what did you do this weekend?
Like Friday I went and worked with Your Private Chef ATL.
Okay.
Did a little promo for her. They're gonna be launching at the Loft next Saturday, I believe. So yeah, they're gonna be selling meals and doing samples and stuff like that. And then I did that Friday, and then I ate a whole bunch of donuts this weekend.
Yeah, you were saying that.
I ate so many donuts. Like I got it in my head that I wanted to find the perfect donut, but each donut wasn't perfect, and I can't.
So you ate the whole thing?
Well, some of them I did. Like, okay, so Da Vinci's, their donuts are small. Wasn't what I wanted, but I ate that whole thing.
Right.
I had something called golden glaze. It wasn't good. I didn't eat the whole thing. So Dunkin' Donuts came around. They ended up being the winner, but they were super, super fresh Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay, yeah. They almost gonna be him for me.
Yeah.
Now some of them do, depending on when you go.
Yeah,
so
and that's what it was. Yeah, it was. They were fresh. So. Yeah, I'm trying to get over that. Trying to get over my donut craze. I think I put on probably 10 pounds of donuts. That's what it feels like today.
Yeah. No, it's not real 10 pounds.
Cool.
But I get it.
I can feel it in my skin.
Yeah. But that's because, Alex, you're really good at your eating. Like, you'll eat very clean. Literally will just sit and eat vegetables and fruit. Which, of course, is what you should do. Eggs, maybe chicken here and there, but you're black beans, you're really good at your eating. So when you were binging on donuts all weekend,
my body was like, no.
Yeah, and that's exactly, you shocked it.
Yeah.
But that could be good for your weight loss.
You're right. It could
be good for your body needs those type of spikes.
Yeah.
So that it feels like it has a reason to keep working and working out and doing all this stuff since you've been doing it for a long time. So that's a great way to actually lose weight. But I can't be telling y'all those days. Y'all would go out there.
No, that's for real. You have to figure out how to do that. Yeah.
Like Brandy said.
No, but it is. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's almost like a reset, but like a reverse reset kind of situation.
Yeah.
No, I get it. But no, I kind of enjoyed that, but I'm over donuts. I'm over it.
I'm over it. Y'all broke up?
Yeah, we broke up.
Found the perfect donut and then you threw him back in?
Right. Me and donuts are over.
She ate that. She ate it. Yes, she did. And then she broke up with him.
Yes, I did.
You're a black widow.
I am. I am. I will take that title. But no, other than that, no. What else I do this weekend? Saturday? No, that was Saturday. Sunday, nothing. I just vibed Sunday. Did my daughter's hair, which if you know me, you know that is a feat.
Oh, you did her hair?
Yeah.
Okay,
I saw it. Twisty, two straight twists.
And they were cute. That was literally the first. I was like, oh my God, her hair is so cute.
Right. Usually she has it braided, but I think the braiding be making it break sometimes. It's not, so she needed to take a break from that. But yeah, just did that. I chilled. I vibed out. That's pretty much it.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty good. I'm really excited because we definitely got our, last week we talked about doing the song, and we got the mastered version back today.
Yes, we finished the whole song,
and it was
now we got to do visuals, y'all.
We have to put the visuals together for y'all.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
And we're having
also because of
special
the people
friends help.
We're gonna definitely be working with some awesome people, and that also makes things fun.
Yeah, you feel the energy. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel,
definitely go
subscribe to the YouTube
Two
channel.
Dope Girls in the Gym.
Okay.
Subscribe or die. Girls in the
That's
gym.
just what it is.
Number 2, right?
The number 2.
Girls with a Z.
Girls with a Z.
Yes.
In the gym. Always. And I tried to get us in the gym working out today.
Yeah, we got there early-ish.
Well, more so like when the actual workout started. But it wasn't working because I didn't want my phone to be all the way over because I also like the
music. I got you. Yeah.
And I didn't want it to be too far to reach, so I just was like,
Yeah, it was hard to like maneuver.
It'll be Brandy in the gym today.
We did get asked to move though.
Oh yeah, my ass was apparently not just mine. Allie's don't even have booty, and
it was in the way. But I just don't understand why she had to call him over past us.
Right? Why you couldn't say, sis? Can you move up some?
Scoot up a little bit. Like you was doing too much, old lady.
Sorry, I had to turn around like, hey, my bad.
Right. She's like, no,
it's just like the whole row. It's not just you. Girl, it felt like you was just talking about us. We right in front of you.
But it's all good. We still love you, sis.
We moved. Okay, she did kind of sis us, right? Nice, nasty. You lucky I respect my elders. I do. I just smiled at it.
Oh no, I have gotten to not a situation. I was in line, and the line was long, and I could hear this old man working his way up. I'm like, oh, I got someone waiting on me. So the next one person was like, cool, you can go. And then he's over there, like, maneuvering another way. I got someone waiting on me. She's like, okay, you can go. Don't come up to me. I got someone waiting on me too, old man. So what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I hate that shit. Like, he was in a separate line to me. But he went up 5 people and was able to go. And I'm just sitting there like, man.
Girl, let me tell you. Okay. They used to do that in the airport.
Yeah.
Like, because, if they get there late for their flight.
Right.
Now, I'm not an asshole. So, of course, I let people go because at the end of the day, like, I would hate to be in that position.
Right.
And I know sometimes I was getting to the airport a little late.
But still.
Late. So, but what I will say is this. I respect everybody until I'm disrespected.
Right.
And that's just all it is to it. Like, and it don't matter who you are. Once you disrespect me, you can't get it.
Right.
So it doesn't matter by age. I remember being 21, going to New York with my parents.
Yeah.
And I felt like disrespected my mom. So I cussed her out right there. My mom and daddy was like, in New York. Mom and daddy was like, oh God! Get her on the bus. Get her on the bus. It was
what
a
do we raise?
Right, but no, I don't play about my mom and daddy. And my dad had paid the dude to let my mom jump the line because she can't really stand. And it was the double-decker tour bus line.
Right.
So it was kind of long. They were waiting on a bus to pull up. So my dad went up, paid the dude. So that he could move my mom to the front of the line. And when the bus pulled up, the lady scooped her kids. It was just her and her 2 kids.
Right.
She scooped her kids and went to get on. I said, bitch, I know you see my mama standing right here. You mean to tell me you could let this lady with this cane get on the bus and then you and your kids get on the bus? We're not going to the top, I promise you. I promise you my mama not walking up to the top. Ho. I had to call her a hoe in front of her kids.
ATL.
My dad was like, the whole time he was like, Brandy, somebody is going to catch you for your mouth. Yeah. They are going to catch you for your mouth. And I every time somebody says that to me, catch me outside. How about that? Like, that's just how I feel about it.
Even when
it comes to my mom.
Oh, when it comes to your mom.
When it comes to things like certain things like disrespect, like if it's blatant disrespect, like if it's something like you bumped into me, I'm definitely not that guy. Yeah. But if it's something where it's like just
you all the way out of pocket, just
oh, I'm jumping stupid with you. I meet you where you at.
Yeah,
I meet you at the energy you come to me with. And if you come to me on some bullshit, I'm probably gonna entertain the bullshit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
See, that's how you get into situations.
That's very true. That's why my forehead hurts.
If y'all only knew.
If y'all only knew. But I can't
though.
tell y'all because then y'all will know my go-to move. And if you ever ran up on me, then y'all would know what I'm coming with.
Right.
I'm like, damn, this bitch.
Right. You can't tell your secrets. You gotta keep your
No.
But
No, you can't.
Probably figure it out. You don't think?
Though I'm pretty, just know.
I will use my face.
I will use my face.
Okay, look, we done rambled long enough. We need to get into our.
That was fun. I like that.
Topic.
Fun talk.
Yeah, we just
okay.
talking shit.
So,
shit.
of course, I know we said hot topics was the thing, but the hot topic I think right now is just mental illness.
Yeah, we want to talk about it.
And then we're moving into March, which is Women's Month, and I think that women obviously, I think they struggle with mental illness and have to hide it or work through it or just deal with it. We want to call it like, oh, this is life. But a lot of times, like, nah, you really need to be talking to somebody about what's going on in your head, about what's going on in your life and how to appropriate certain things. Definitely. Like, I think that those things are very important to kind of hone in on, pay attention to, and entertain.
Yeah.
We should probably entertain the idea of talking to somebody. And I know a lot of times in the African American community, we're coming out of February, moving into March, so I'm talking to black women when I say, wow! Sometimes we need help, and I know I'm one of them. So at the end of the day, this is not a place of judgment. This is definitely a place of unconditional love. It's a place of communication and understanding, and also understanding that when you're on a journey, that motherfucking roller coaster is never stopping.
Never.
It's never stopping.
Never.
Even when you think you've mastered it.
Right. To the point where you want to do a podcast. Your journey's still not over. We're still on this ride, right?
Right. So we decided, we were like, you know what? Because I know personally, like, I'm slowly coming out of a space. Mm-hmm. But last year was like shit show Mallory year. Like, it was like, what is happening?
Right.
I don't know what was going on. And it really attacked my mental space. Yeah. So much to the point where it like took me out of a lot of places. Mm-hmm. When I would walk into new spaces, I don't trust anybody. Right. Like, a lot of stuff was happening in my life that also made me feel like a different person. And now I don't even recognize myself. And one thing that I noticed is when we had our girl on, our motivational speaker, Diana, yes. When we had Diana Watley on, and I apologize for not being able to come up with that, Diana. You're my girl. But when what's that? When we had Diana Watley on, and she said sometimes you have to take a step back and let go of whatever, like really everything. Like, I really found myself accepting this blank sheet, this blank canvas, right, and walking forward in that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So today's conversation, the hot topic of mental illness in the African American community. Yeah. But just
mental health awareness, even if it's not illness, just mental health awareness.
Yeah, the awareness part, because you might not necessarily be diagnosed with something, but I think you have to be aware enough to know when you're not yourself. Yeah, and even if it is yourself, but it's a transition into a new self, that mentally can be stressful. And I think, we're always preaching mental, spiritual, physical. Yeah. And I think it's just important to really understand what the mental is. So, like, really just being aware of what's going on in your head and treating it the same way you treat physical ailments. You know? So, that's what we're going to talk about. Sorry, guys, not to deviate from the plan or the mood, but we are in the ghetto today recording this podcast. I'm literally having to hold the mic. Oh, no. Is it falling? So it's not really reaching to the point where I can do this. So if I turn this, look, all I know is I'm in the ghetto. She just likes to keep her hands on it. I'm in the ghetto. Okay? We're in the ghetto. This is nasty. Anyway, how does mental awareness affect your weight loss journey?
Right.
And really, I won't even we don't have to limit these conversations to just weight loss. Of course, we're always coming from a weight loss perspective because that is our journey.
Mm-hmm.
But really, these things are applicable to every transformation anyone would ever make. I know life throws all types of crap your way. Like
I think we literally said that in another video. It throws all kind of shit.
Yeah. I think when I started my career as a makeup artist, and this was in 2009, when I said, yo, I could do this for a job, and I started really like putting the energy into learning the craft of makeup. I told myself, yeah, if I could just get to the point where I'm working with a celebrity and I'm traveling with a celebrity, like that's where the money at, that and commercials. Like I'll be good if I'm doing that in commercials. And weddings are pretty good.
That's
But right. But I get there. I literally get my dream job and I'm not happy.
Right.
Like what do you do with that? What do you do? Like and you're having these conversations like, okay, let me weigh the pros and the cons. I am, working with this celebrity who, whatever she does, I too will have the opportunity to add that to my resume.
Yeah, definitely.
So, of course, there's these career things, these career goals, because at the end of the day, makeup is my thing. You know, that's my breadwinner. That's what I'm known for, technically, as my work, right?
Yeah.
So you go through this shift of, all right, well, this isn't really like what I want by itself. Like, I do want to do makeup.
Right.
But I don't want to just do makeup.
Well, see, that's what happens. You've gone on this journey. You've gotten to where you thought you wanted to be your end point, what we thought was the end point.
Right.
And realized no, because you've learned all these tools. You've learned, your mind has been expanded so much more throughout your journey.
Right.
So I think it's really only natural to come to the position where you're at, like, okay, what's next? What else is going to happen?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not only that, like, I told myself I wanted to be able to create a lane and carve a path where I was able to do makeup, and I'm able to go share my journey and my story with people, specifically kids, who struggle with their weight, and also be in the fitness realm. I wanted my own class. I wanted my own following of people who wanted to come to me, specifically morbidly obese people who are looking to start their journey, stay consistent, because a lot of times we start and stop. A lot of times you don't really know what to do. So again, as a sidestep, that's how this podcast was even created. The crazy thing is the day that I want to say the day you asked me, I'll say either the day before or 2 days before you asked me about a podcast, I had called my friend Kiwi and I was like, girl, okay, I know I'm not coming to Dance Your Pounds Off anymore, but I still feel like there's a way, I want to team up with another woman who's on a weight loss journey, who doesn't live the life that I live, and we're able to have these conversations around weight loss. When you came to me 2 days later, I was like, all right, God. Not to be jacked up, I did ditch Kiwi. I did ditch Kiwi. We did offer her, to come on or whatever. But when it's not what you're necessarily passionate about, and you came to me, so that's how I knew the energy was right. Because it wasn't me coming to somebody and asking them anything. I already had the desire in my heart. I put it in the universe, and the right person was revealed to me. And I know that this is not exactly where I thought I would be going with my anything, but I feel so much better about life doing this.
But isn't that what Diana said, was once you realize you can't drive, you're not the one driving. You gotta understand that.
But that process of getting to the place where you have to understand that, like, it has to click in. That process so much takes place in that process.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Depression. I'm just gonna call it like a TI is. I was balled up in the bed.
Depression is really real.
What am I gonna do?
But it's on so many levels. It's real because they have, they've got seasonal depression, or you might wake up in a bad mood. There's that. Then there's crippling depression, where you can't function, you can't get up, you have to take medication in order to function. So, but I think every level of depression needs to be recognized, because some days you just got to just fucking fuck everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Like, you just have to.
I did that a lot in 2019.
You really do. You take the time and you gotta work your way through depression. It's not easy at all, and it can cause it's known to cause.
It could cause relationship shifts.
It can be the cause of your weight gain, like unexplainable weight gain.
That happens.
Yeah, there's studies that show that. Well, they can't really figure out if it's the depression that causes the weight gain, or does the weight gain cause depression. They're trying to figure out which one.
I think that both
they can
occur.
go hand. Yeah. They were saying how when you view yourself. When you see yourself as big, you gain more weight, right? I was like, okay. They were saying that you already see yourself. They said it can cause depression, and you start gaining more weight. I was like, damn, that's crazy, because you really can just think it into existence. It's a negative thing, but you can't think it into existence.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So today in class, I literally yelled out, "Fuck!"
Oh, loud, from the bellows of
it
her
came from my
balls.
core. In my ADP's voice, it came from my core. And I had to apologize to people because, I'm sure I interrupted their workout. And our trainer had to come tell us, like, no, watch your mouth. But I was having a moment.
Right.
Literally in the middle of this workout, I start thinking of all these things that I used to do, right? Or how my body used to move. Like, I have back pains now, I have knee pains now, I have fucking ankle pains. But the knee pain and the ankle pain, they're not consistent. But this back pain, this lower back on my left-hand side, oh man, I have tried everything under the sun and it won't go away. So what I've noticed is from November to now, I don't know what it is about what I've been doing. Well, I do, but my weight, well, I don't even say weight, my inches have fluctuated. Like I don't know, but like I went down and probably after the holidays. Shit, that's probably what it was, the holidays. But after the holidays, like, my body started shifting in a different direction. And, like, what was freaking me out about it is, all I'm thinking about is, fuck, I don't have anywhere to cook this food. Because at the time, like, I didn't have a place to stay that was, like, conducive to me cooking. Like, a whole lot was happening. I lost my job last year. I shifted a lot of things in my life last year. I literally am in a place where I'm starting clean with a fresh sheet of paper. And I have all of this stuff on my resume that I've done. And it's like, what are you going to do with it? Because the goal is to always stay connected to this. To always stay connected to health, for sure. Because I know that's what I was put on this earth to do. And I know I will become depressed if I ever put my weight back on. Like,
definitely.
Was it last week? The whole week I feel like I was just like beating myself up.
Oh yeah, you were.
And today I just had a mental break in class where I was just like, fuck, why are you doing this to yourself? Bitch, you're doing the work. You can't be doing the work and trying to get back to this place where you're capable of getting to. Like, I've done this already. I put weight on and had to get it back off. Right. So it's just like, fuck, I gotta do it again. But I just also realized that that's probably going to be what I'm doing for the rest of my life.
That I kind of came to the realization too that it really is. This is what it is. Like, we're gonna freak out when we put on weight. That's
these 2,500 people who donated their dollars to me. I might genuinely have to be giving it. Like, I've had these conversations with myself. We're gonna have to be okay, and we're gonna have to love ourselves regardless if we don't have surgery. $16,000, and that's just for my arms and my sides. I haven't even begun thinking about my stomach, my thighs, none of that. Like, so it's like a mental thing because the doctor told me you got to lose 50 pounds or I'm gonna have to charge you more. And I'm over here like, bruh, I don't want to be charged because that also kind of goes into your health. Like if they were to do surgery and I'm not the right size, that could affect me while I'm under.
Definitely.
So at the same time, I don't even want to go that route. I'm already leery about having surgery.
Right. That is kind of scary.
So it's like, no, fuck it. I'm going to lose this 50 pounds. Like, I'm not paying no extra money. I'm not going to be that bitch.
Right.
Not when I know how to lose weight.
Right.
So now I just have to reassess. So this is, in a way, I'm showing you how to fall without failing.
Yeah.
You're confessing. Yeah. I'm talking to y'all about it. I'm letting you know, like, at the end of the day, you may judge me. You may be like, but how you going to tell us this, that, and the third? No, I'm actually sharing with you
and
that this journey is ongoing, that it will fluctuate. Life will throw loopholes your way.
Definitely.
You will think you're smooth sailing, coasting. Life is good. I can pay for my food. Next thing you know, you literally a step away from being homeless.
Yeah. No, I think it's important for people to understand, like, we don't have all the answers
at all,
but we want to talk about it. We want to figure it out. We need y'all. You know what I'm saying? You need us. Like, it's just a circle. It's this circle. We need to just figure all this shit out.
Yeah, and provide a safe space for people who want to figure it out
together.
On their end too.
Yeah. No, definitely no judgment. No judgment. If you're listening, no judgment.
Never.
Right?
So, I guess what are some things, because I kind of like talk. What are something we know all of the bullshit that I kind of went through? I just ran down a little list. And that's just a little list, baby. Just know the whole sheet is bare. It's clean.
Blank slate.
Right. And we going for great. Go ahead.
she always got to rhyme like Muhammad Ali. Brandy
Ali.
Yes.
That's the fighter.
No, I think okay, so I have my own mental health issues. You know, I'm very like a personal person, and I think a lot of times like my personality is just I laugh a lot, I joke a lot, like all of that. So I think a lot of times when people realize or find out like what I've been through, they're like, oh shit, I didn't realize that. But like I back in 2015, I started having like panic attacks, like in public panic attacks, like to where like blacking out, bells ringing in my ears, I'm coming to, like people screaming my name, like it was crazy, right? So I'm like, all right, bitch, you got to go get some help. Something's going on. And I know the previous year was the worst year ever. I'd lost my mom. I'd lost like a whole bunch of people in a very short amount of time. And so, went and talked to some people. They're like, yeah, you got anxiety, like severe anxiety and panic attacks, basically. And so I started handling that. But in the process of that, that's around the time where I decided, I need to lose weight. Like I gotta lose weight. I just have to. And so I was dealing with both of those, trying to lose weight and trying to figure out the anxiety and the panic attacks. And of course they want to put you on meds, and like that's not my thing. I don't. I always try to go like non-medicine route first if I can. But what also shocked me about the situation was how easily they're like, here, choose. Literally gave me a list of medicine. Was like, pick one. I know nothing about these medicines. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to just be careful, right? Just be careful because they will force feed you medicine. They will diagnose you and force feed you medicine. But because of my physical response, I knew something really was wrong. you know? So I tried to clean up my diet and just I found out through my own research that exercise cures things like that. Well, when I say cure, I don't mean cure as in they'll never happen again, but like it stops them from happening as frequently. You know, it's a way of getting rid of the stress that causes the anxiety attacks and stuff like that. So I really just try to start incorporating like exercise and shit like that into my situation, and that that kind of calmed down. But then in 2017, it picked back up, and I had to deal with. They diagnosed me as bipolar hypomanic, which basically, if you read the definition, it's not bad. It's like someone who's always in a euphoric state. You like to have fun. You go hard, very extreme, very creative. Usually,
that sounds like me.
Yeah, I know. Usually, one of the side effects is a high sex drive. There's just all kind of easily irritated. You can get irritated easily.
That is me,
right? So, right, it's not necessarily like I don't feel like it was necessarily a bad thing. My diagnosis, but I was like, this is kind of my personality, and it's always been. And again, that came with the meds. Here you go, take these meds. I'm like, nah, man, like I can't do that.
That's crazy,
right?
It was that easy to just
more meds.
Here, fuck your life up.
More meds, but some people do need meds. I won't take that from anybody. Like some people, you do need your meds.
Yeah.
But I will say, literally, try any other available route first. Just do your own research. The internet is there. Like the internet will tell you whatever the fuck you ask it, and it'll tell you 3 different ways, so you can double check your research. But
double check your research.
Yeah, you can just Google anything. Just Google it. But no, yeah, so I went through that and just, trying to adjust to that. I think that definitely affected my weight. I don't want to say weight gain. That hypomania, it makes you not, a lot of times you don't need sleep like that. You just be up. So,
it's hard for you to lose weight.
Yeah, like you would kind of get,
that's when you
you would get stuck. And I hate when CJ does that.
I know, it's like, I'm out of time.
Right? He just comes in like, the enforcer. But no, so yeah, it does cause you to have unhealthy habits that will lead to weight gain. So you don't sleep. Your eating, my eating was so messed up. It's so messed up. And I still like go back and forth. Like right now, I'm probably more like hypomanic than like regular. You know what I'm saying? But it's something you kind of learn to regulate within yourself if you take the time.
Right.
You take the time and really figure it out. So, I don't know.
Well, we already set you up with what our lives look like on like in the real life, in real time, what we're dealing with mentally on a daily basis. For the most part,
right? Because I think
because I know I have body dysmorphia. I've never never sat on anybody's couch, but I know that when I look in the mirror and when I look at a picture, I see 2 totally different things.
I know that for sure.
I also know when I could be wearing the same clothes, haven't been doing like eating good, and I'll still be looking at myself like, girl, you're big as a house. Like I have these conversations with myself, and it's a real thing.
No, yes.
And that's a sickness because I don't think it's healthy for you to pinpoint your negatives. I just don't think that's healthy.
Yeah, at all. And I think too,
not to harp on it.
But when you weigh 400 pounds, if you look in the mirror, you see. It's hard to see the positive, Well, for me, it was just hard to see the positive. Everything was what I wanted to change. Right. So even 300 pounds later, you still look in the mirror and you can still have those thoughts, those negative thoughts. You still see things you want to change. And I think sometimes we do like pinpoint it. We do like take it into overdrive. But I think that's part of kind of you develop that over time when you're losing this much weight. That's almost true. Like a security device. Like it's like sensors start going off. Right?
Think about it.
But you just kind of have to incorporate that and figure out how to deal with that, because that's going to be your new normal. Well, it seems as though it's going to be your new normal. I'm not sure. But
do you think that somebody who has ADD or ADHD, do you think that they too struggle with their weight because of that illness?
I know most people that I know, because of the medicines you take because of ADHD, they can't eat. They don't eat healthy.
Ritalin,
they don't eat until they crash, and it's like I've heard that being one of the I've heard that being one of the biggest side effects of Ritalin is just not being able to eat.
That's why my mom wouldn't put me on Ritalin. They tried to put me on the medication when I was younger, and I was like,
and this was when it was testing it like new back when we were younger, like you know what I'm saying, like this is like, oh yeah, let's see.
They're like, she's got ADD. Put her on Ritalin, and I feel like Ritalin. My parents didn't do it because I guess at that time, Ritalin was making kids turn into zombies.
Oh yeah, that's what
it was.
Yeah,
you know, the medication.
Cat
it was taking their joyful kids, and turning them into zombies. And so my mom was like, "Nah, I get what you're saying. She might have ADD, but we just gonna pray it out of her." You know, I don't even think anybody knew what ADD was.
No,
in the
not
80s.
really. We had one kid with ADD back, and he had Ritalin. His name was Jonathan Watts.
Everybody got Ritalin.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody got ADD.
But that's how I low key feel about this bipolar diagnosis. It's like they were giving it to everybody, and really, when I look at it for myself personally, it was just a break from what I've been told to what I know. It just felt like a break. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe they're preparing everybody for marijuana cards.
Well, I mean, if I can get a card out of it, hey, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it.
All I know is my mama wasn't having it, and I'm glad. Right. I also was supposed to get kept back in first grade.
Yeah, you did.
Or kindergarten. And they were like, they told my mom I was too immature. So I might have did have ADD.
Now you just have adult ADD.
Nah, I definitely have adult ADD. They said I was too immature to go on to the first grade.
Right.
And my mom was like, man, if you don't put my kid through the first grade. But then in first grade, when they said it again, I was like, all right.
I get it.
Fine. But then here I am, 36.
It's still the same.
Right. So what are we holding people back in school for? For their personality?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, ADD, if your conversation isn't interesting, that shit's going to kick in fast. And I personally feel like that's a defense mechanism. There's nothing wrong with having ADD.
I'm getting rid of terrible conversation.
Yeah, like, oh God, this is...
Can't keep my interest.
Why am I here? Not here anymore. Don't worry about it. Don't hear nothing you saying. End of the conversation, I tap back in off of the last thing they say. I don't know how I do it right on time. And I just talk about what the last thing they said was.
Y'all hear this, right?
I'm a professional at this point. I'm telling all my J's. I'm sorry. I'm telling y'all the jewels, giving y'all the knowledge. But yeah, possibly your weight. I think anything that you add to your body that's foreign, and chemicals are foreign. Pills are chemicals. They are foreign. When you're adding anything to your body that's foreign, you're going to have a reaction or response.
Right.
And yeah, it could be one that affects your food.
Yeah,
intake.
Definitely. That all those medications affect that. But
right.
That's a whole nother gambit of
right. That's a whole nother episode,
shit, right? I did look up 5 psychological blocks to weight loss.
Okay.
Like things that we could be doing on our own that are just really stopping us from losing weight. And we can't figure out because we're doing the physical. We're in there running. We in there thinking we're eating right.
Right.
But so it says.
What do you write down? I'm going to write it down. What you get?
So the number one, okay, all or nothing thinking. So believing that if you can't get in half a mile, then that means you need 0 miles. You know, they said a lot of people will, just because they can't do what they want, they won't do anything.
Yeah. No.
Right. And I know I've been guilty of that early on. I definitely was guilty of that. But I had to break out of that in order to really stay true and stay on my journey.
Well, I guess I would have to, if I had to tap back into 300 pound
like
Brandy working out. I did sit back and say, I don't see it. Like how I don't see this ever ending. I don't see how I'm ever going to get to a place where I think differently or feel differently about this process. Mm-hmm. Until I got there.
Yeah. Okay, so having a negative body image. So they say, okay, having a negative body image, you see yourself a certain way, it's going to restrict you from going into those group classes. It's going to stop you from, you're going to be so conscious that you won't go to the gym because you feel like everyone's looking at you. And that's happened to me. That's why I say I like Big Girls Move so much, because it helped me get over having my body image, you know? And I've opted out of group classes at LA Fitness, or I'll be on the treadmill and feel like, oh, that bitch is looking at me. Or, you know?
Right.
I've definitely been there. Talking yourself out of that is hard.
I experienced that on a different level, because I know I'm the person people come to for advice. But even outside of that, I know I'm also the person who I know I'm struggling with my weight.
Yeah.
So at the same time, I'm trying to maintain this mentality of, I do have what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to come talk to me about it or ask me questions about it. But I also know you're looking at me because I look different.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, you know, it's like they told us when we were on the show, they told us people will forever hold you to your finale weight.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
They will forever hold you to your finale weight because you did this thing on TV. Like, you should know what to do. And it's like, yeah, but they didn't know that I wasn't at home. They didn't know that I was working out 6 hours a day, and that's not the fuck what's about to happen now.
Right.
They didn't know that I stepped away from my career and I had to come back and literally pick up. I had nothing, nowhere to live. None of these things were taking, and I wasn't getting paid to do that show outside of the first 3 months. So at the end of the day, these are all things that, though the world doesn't know, they do know I did this television show. Right. They do know you've been working out, you do everything, but they also know you ain't getting no smaller.
Right.
You know, so it's that anxiety of judgment.
Right. No,
really.
Yeah. And that never leaves.
I might not care about my body image as far as like my size, and it doesn't bother me in the sense of if you see it, but at the same time it bothers me that I'm not where I was, and I know you're looking at me thinking, or well, I don't say this is what I in my mind. I know you're looking at me thinking, how the hell you supposed to help me and you struggling? You know, like that's just the mindset that you have to battle. Basically.
Right. No, yeah. I know, I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. So the next one, stress. Stressing causes weight gain. Your body, one of the most common ways to deal with stress is to overeat, to eat comfort foods. Of course, that causes weight gain. You've got to figure out different ways to handle your stress. Stress, what is it, cortisol? Yeah. That your body holds on to, that's stored around your midsection. That right there, when you stress, you're literally telling your body like, hey, fat, come on, like just build up on my stomach. And so you've got to de-stress. And if that means getting away from toxic people, stop being your own toxic person, just getting shit under control, like you have to do what you got to do. And there's going to be stress in your life. That's natural. But it's just about handling it and dealing with it and not letting it just pile the fuck up.
Yeah, I don't really handle stress well at all. I shut down. When things are taking place and I don't really know how to deal with them, I literally become a shell version of myself. Like Leos, we're either really high or we're really low. Where there is no in between for us. And we're really high when we're adored and we're loved and everything is great in life and there's no worries and blah blah blah. But we're really low when we begin to feel like who we are as a person is a problem for the people we're around. Yeah. You know, like like you were never anybody different. But because maybe me and you have a moment, right, where something goes on, and this is just my personality. If I've already communicated something to you 1,000,000 times, right? And you come with a whole different routine other than what we established when I left you. And then I get back and it ain't right. I don't really know how to respond to that. Am I supposed to nicely say, well, what happened here?
Well, I would ask. I would say, what happened? I thought we...
See, mine don't come out like that. And that's probably the problem.
Oh, see, the charming Libra in me can work my way through that.
Oh, yeah, no, the straightforward, aggressive Leo is like...
No, I'm passive-aggressive.
I know the fuck when I left here. This what we said we was doing.
And
how did we get here?
We low-key been in a situation like this. We can't go into details. Not between us, but with us and another partner. Yes. But that's another story.
We'll save it.
Right? So, unstress yourself, right? Unstress yourself.
So, some of the ways that I guess some things that I personally do, I definitely like to soak.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely like to soak in a little bit of lavender and chamomile. I like to burn candles.
Yeah, lavender's not my thing, but it is great for relaxing. But I love like tea tree and honey. Yeah, it's great.
I like to get me a nice little bath going, just bubble it away. play some Billie Holiday, Lena Horne.
Yeah.
Just like,
yeah, that sounds amazing right
nothing
now.
that's uppity, nothing that's like making me feel relationship
Anxious,
vibes. Yeah. Because when you're going through like a breakup, or even really just trying to stay focused, because a good song can come on, you like, shit, I need to pull up on that nigga. You know?
That is true.
No.
But sound is real, y'all. So different frequencies and vibes, it really does affect your body. So we went to that sound exhibit at the High, but that is true. You know, get songs with the right megahertz for your vibe, because that really makes a difference.
I think that's my favorite way to probably alleviate stress, and deal with just kind of like the mental when I'm going through things. Another thing I like to do is I like to write positive notes to myself, just as reminders, like just a whole wall of motivational or positive quotes. Like my favorite one is broken crayon still colored.
Yeah.
Like I love that, because at the end of the day, like, I might not be perfect. I might be a lot for some people, but at the end of the day, I'm still worthy. I'm still bright. I'm still colorful. I'm still fun. I'm still all of these positive things that I know I am. But if you catch me in a moment where I have gone through something, you might get a different vibe from me. And you're like, well, this ain't the person I know.
But that is one thing also with you having like a large social media presence. Just when you said this ain't the person that I know.
Right.
Like, I feel that too now a lot of times, just with the Two Dope Girls in the gym, people starting to recognize us in the gym and stuff, like coming. And there's days when I don't want to be in there. I don't want to be in the gym.
Right.
But when like these girls come and they're looking at me or asking me questions, I'm like, fuck, like, is there a line between performing and like isolating? Like, you know, like what do I do?
Well, when you put on a certain hat, and this is just the mentality that I have taken from the moment I started to build a health platform. When you take on the task to motivate, inspire, encourage, uplift, there are no days off.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you always have to be on. So what I have had to do on my end, which is, it has been rather ungraceful, might I add, is figure out how to pull it together when something personal is going on in my life or may have just taken place. And now I have to go into an environment where none of that, the people in that environment don't care about what I'm coming from.
Yeah. And not in a
what
way,
I'm
they
feeling.
just don't know.
Right.
Yes.
They don't. And they're expecting you to
be this person.
Be who they,
They want you to be who they see. Yeah.
I had a moment, I was doing Black Girls Run speaking. It was like one of my, I won't say first because it wasn't my first major. It was probably like my fourth major speaking engagement. But it was one I think that was really important to me because I remember when Black Girls Run was created and they celebrated 10 years last year. I've only been on my weight loss journey now for 7 years. So I remember Black Girls Run being a thing before I lost weight. So for Black Girls Run to reach out to me and ask me to be their closing speaker for their 10-year anniversary of being, a organization, for me, that those things matter.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. Anyway, I had gone to Charlotte, and that weekend was rather hard because while I was there, some things took place that kind of took me out of my element, so to speak. I wanted to just kind of soak in the idea that, like, gosh, this thing that I never thought I would be able to do, which is run, this organization that I reached out to somebody and asked them about that I knew, Bianca, you remember Bianca? She was in your class.
Oh, yeah.
She was running with Black Girls Run for a while, and I asked her about it. And I just always felt like I would never be able to do anything like that. So then, of course, you go, life goes on, I go and do this thing, right? and now I'm the person you want to come.
Yeah.
Close out your whole entire conference. Okay.
No, that's
wow.
Cute. That's when life is doing right. That's when you're doing right.
Right.
Yeah.
So for that moment to low key be stolen from me, like it didn't even feel the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was hard. But at the end of the day, like, you have to answer your question. They don't give a fuck.
Right. No.
So you do have to show up, because that's the hat you put on when you decided I'm gonna be 2 dope girls in the gym.
Right. No,
and
definitely.
We gonna motivate y'all to get this weight off. And if y'all ever need to talk, we're here.
Yeah.
So the time they come talk, you can't be like, girl, ain't
not
time
today. Not to
come back tomorrow.
Today.
No, you gotta take your feelings, put them to the side, and have that real talk with that sister who came to you for help. So
yeah, definitely.
That's that. But I just try to keep positive quotes. At the end of the day, I try to keep these positive quotes to remind myself of my worth, remind myself of my work ethic. There's another one, and we've been in pain a lot because we're amping up our workouts, right?
Oh God.
I'm in freak out mode where I'm like, oh, it's time to do some extra credit. So we've been in pain, and I just keep telling myself, pain is weakness leaving the body. Fortitude is strength of the mind that allows one to endure pain and adversity. These are things that have kept me on my journey. When I was starting out, those were the things that I was telling myself when I was running and I was tired and I wanted to stop, but I would just tell myself, you can do this, keep going. I have to remind myself of that person sometimes.
Yeah, definitely get back into that mindset. Definitely have to fall back into that.
So yeah, I think that it's important to have positive quotes and definitions and just sayings and things.
Yeah, because that goes into the way that you talk to yourself.
Pictures, yeah.
And that kind of goes into the next one, the psychological blocks, depression. They say, speaking to yourself down, go like we discussed before, the depression, actual depression, all of that hinders your weight loss.
Yep.
Definitely. I think we really did touch on that a lot earlier. So I think the next one, and I think this is so true, but personal and childhood trauma.
Yes.
That definitely affects your weight loss, your weight gain, not dealing with issues, shit that's happened to you. And everyone goes through some kind of thing. And like when I started having my panic attacks and anxiety, I think losing my mom and 2 grandmother figures and just all that, like right back to back, that was traumatic for me. That was 6 people were like ripped out of my, like 6, all women, hugely important, vital to my existence, were all just ripped out in less than 4 months. Like, boom. So that was very traumatic. And I think a lot of times we don't give ourselves, I don't want to say credit, but we don't recognize that our circumstances are traumatic. Like, because you push through, because everyone says you can do it, because you make it to the other end, it doesn't mean it wasn't traumatic. Yeah. So I think,
and it doesn't mean that you didn't need to kind of take some time.
Exactly. And if you are trying to figure everything out on your own, it's not going to work. There's no billionaire who became a billionaire on his own. You have to talk to somebody. If your somebody is the Bible, if you're somebody is Jesus, if you're somebody, like if it's a human, if it's not a human, something, you've got to talk to somebody. You cannot do it on your own. And you really just have to take that step. You have to. And that's the only way to make it happen.
I say one thing that I enjoyed that Alex put me on to was building an altar and having a space that you could go to
I thought that was CJ.
You having a space that you need to go to that you can just have positive. It's like a positive bubble. Yeah. Positive energy space bubble. Good shit. Yeah. So I put a lot of stuff on my altar that reminds me of happy times. I have a unicorn on there. I've done myself as a fitness unicorn. Fitness fun is my thing. I just want to enjoy this process. I want to, if it's something that I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, I want to have fun doing it and really thoroughly enjoy the environments that I'm in. So I have an elephant on there for, of course, being a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, but what the elephant means, which of course, mind your business. I put these specific things, my mother, the base of my altar, and the flowers that are in it, and the candles that are in it. My mother made that for me. Mm-hmm. And my mother, I wanted the whole premise of my altar to be about love. And I know this is a personal thing, but like, you don't have to share this with anybody. But just to kind of give you an idea, not you, but just to give y'all an idea of what I mean by this altar, because I think a lot of times when people hear altar, they think of sacrificial lambs,
like
and
religion.
Yeah, like, and it's not that. It's not none of that. It's just putting positive intention into the world and into the universe, and ultimately taking that within yourself. And so anyway, love, something, my heart has kind of been hardened and cold over this past year. Yeah. And one thing that I want to come out of that is I still want my heart. Like, mm-hmm. I know I will be forever changed, but at the same time, I want to remain a good person. I want to remain a loving person. Always. I want to continue to be that, but that has changed. So, no, not always.
But no, that's what
I'm
you
want. That it can
but
change.
You can,
and I want my heart back.
Yeah.
I want the darkness that's seeped up in there, and it's trying to, like, right now I imagine it being like
coagulate
smoke or like oil when it gets up in something and it slowly mixes,
fills all the crevices.
Yeah, like that's what it feels like, and I just kind of want to come out of that space.
Yeah, I feel you. I definitely feel you on that. Yeah, it just takes time. It takes time. Yeah. Was it Rome wasn't built in a day?
It wasn't. Gucci definitely won't be built in
right, and
6 years.
I think I don't know, all of this stuff. I just hope it helps people out there kind of understand maybe what we're coming from when we say the mental. You know, I know a lot of times you see us on Instagram laughing or joking or whatever, but it is more than that. And definitely going through a transformation. We've definitely had our ups and downs with our own mental health. So I think. I hope this kind of helped you guys out and just get you on the right path to get your shit together so you can make it through. That's that's pretty much it. I think for this. Yeah, I think we.
I think, and I don't want to leave it out. Sometimes you're gonna have to recreate your why.
Oh, definitely. That's like, always
throughout
constant.
The journey. You're gonna be
always constant.
Once you get to the goal, I don't want people to think that that's the end goal. Cause you'll have to recreate a new goal.
Yeah, it's just like leveling up. You've got to get new goals, and your why should always be in the forefront. You should always be it should always be evolving and changing. I think we always mention this. Your journey isn't linear. It's not. It's always in rotation. It's always moving. So always keep your objectives in front of you, and always understand that they can change. And if they do, you just got to be adaptable to it. It makes life so much easier. So much easier.
Anyway, at the end of the day, we believe in you. You got this. And if you need us, you already know where to hit us. Don't miss it. We love y'all. It's 2 dope girls in the gym. And bitch, we out.
Bye. Peace. Boobies.
Wow.
Oh shit.